Welcome to the Daily Energize Podcast, where you'll get a jolt of energy and a quick tip to help you conquer your day. Now here's your host, the Prince of Positivity himself, Spencer Jones.
What's happening, Energizer? I hope you are having an amazing day, whatever time it is for you that you're listening to this. Maybe it's the nighttime or evening or afternoon or morning, whatever it is for you. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the podcast. Thank you for being part of our Energizer family. I know I've said this a lot before, but I truly mean it. Thank you. Thank you for being part of our family, for shining and sharing your love, your light with me and with the world. I am truly, truly grateful for you. So thank you for being part of it. I want to share stuff about an evening routine and how I have built my evening routine in hopes that it can help you, because it has helped me a lot. Most people focus on morning routines, and that's great. I have a solid morning routine that works for me. I've talked about morning routine quite a few times. If you haven't, I'm sure you could look through the Daily Energize episodes and find them. I've done reels about it. Whatever. Morning routines are super important because obviously it's the way you start your day. But in doing so, many of us ignore evening routines. How do we end the day? And so I thought I would dedicate this episode of the Daily Energize to evening routines. Now, maybe you already have an evening routine. Well, actually, I can almost guarantee you do already have an evening routine. You just might have not intentionally created it and made it the way it is. Or maybe you did at one point, and I don't know, there's ways to tweak and adjust it if you choose to. Again, it has to align, right? Always going back to that alignment portion of it. So, evening routines. For me, I try to keep it super, super simple. In the mornings, it's a big structure thing for me, right? I have a lot of different things I do in the morning. But in the evenings, I'm tired. I don't want to go through this whole sequence. And some people have like a 2-hour evening routine. Go them. That's awesome. That's not me. I try to keep it super simple because I'm exhausted. I'm tired by the time that I generally go to sleep. So I don't want to have a whole big wind down. Now, usually for me, we stop watching TV. If we are watching TV or movies or something, we try to finish that about an hour before I go to sleep. Generally, that's not always a hard and fast time, but generally an hour or so. That helps my light with my brain and eyes with the blue light, and just calming my brain down. Even if I'm tired, right? It helps calm that down. And then I brush my teeth and get ready for bed, and then I'll read. So for me, I like to read at night, although it does make me tired, which helps even more. But we stop watching whatever we're watching or doing. I go brush my teeth and I read. And so I'm just reading whatever book I'm on at that time and go through it. But before I go to sleep, after I'm done reading, but before I lay my head down, or even as I'm laying my head down, I think about 2 amazing things that happened. What were 2 awesome things that happened to me or did I experience that day? Sometimes it's something huge and amazing, like we're celebrating somebody's birthday, or we landed a whole bunch of clients, or I don't know, like the big things, right? Big celebrations. Awesome. All right, we get to celebrate those amazing high points. But other days are just going by. And there are beautiful moments that happen in the mundane, in the general life. And then there are days where we'll struggle, right? I'm no different than you. I have great days. I have a lot of middle days. And I have some days that are low, where I'm struggling. And not necessarily struggling as bad as I used to, but some days when, that first sip of coffee or that first sip of tea, it just hits. And you're like, that is amazing. Some days that is one of the highlights of the day. And you know what? That is okay if that is one of the highlights. But at the end of the day, I reflect and go, I'm grateful for that moment of savoring that sip of coffee. Or I'm grateful for that celebration. And I just take a moment to savor the beautiful things. To savor those 2 moments. Now, maybe you have more than 2 amazing moments in the day, but I try to find 2. Big or small, medium-sized, obvious, obscure, it doesn't matter. It's just like finding gratitudes in the morning. Now I'm finding 2 things that were awesome, or 2 gratitudes at the end of the day. And I try to go like, what were 2 amazing things I experienced? And I savor that moment. Now this does a couple things. 1, it gets me focused on the positives right before I go to sleep. So that's going to prime my brain to look on the positive side, right? Build those positive neural pathways. And I wake up in the morning and I find my gratitudes. I kick it off by looking for the good and building the positive neural pathways, right? I'm really bookending my day with positives, helping my brain reprogram, retrain, rewire so that it's at its best. At least for positive thinking, that is. So for me, my evening routine is super simple. I shut off the TV if I'm watching about an hour before bed. I know research says you should do 2 or 3 hours. I'm just telling you what we do currently. It's about an hour. And then I brush my teeth, let the dogs out, kind of clean up the house a little bit as the dogs are out. And then I go up, brush my teeth. And that gives me maybe 30-ish minutes to read or so. So then I read. And then I think, what were 2 amazing things that happened? And I could write them down, or a lot of times I just think about them, and I really let it sink to my heart, and I savor them. And then I go to bed. And then when I wake up the next day, I start my morning routine. What evening routine do you have? Is it one that just kind of built itself based on what's happening in your life? And that's okay if that's the case. I think everybody has done that. But now you get to be the master of it. You get to decide, what does your evening routine look like? Pick and choose things that you think align with you and try them out. And if they work, great. If they don't, great. Change it, adjust it, make it yours. The evening routine I have now is not the one I've always had. It's one I've had for a while now. But I know that that's probably going to need to change at some point. So be flexible. But always make sure it's aligned, right? Going back to that alignment. All right. I love you. I appreciate you. Keep shining your beautiful lights with the world. And until next time, I will catch you later.
Yeah.